crying out in pain and fear, one of the youngest victims of an Israeli strike in Gaza. Every day, dozens are killed here, many more injured. The strike hit a UN school. The Israeli military says a militant was targeted and killed, but the school was also home to hundreds of displaced families. Allegations of war crimes and genocide in this conflict are being probed internationally. But today, in a case that predates the war in Gaza, the UN's highest court delivered a damning advisory opinion on Israel's occupation of Palestinian land.
The sustained abuse by Israel of its position as an occupying power through annexation and an assertion of permanent control over the occupied Palestinian territory, and its continued frustration of the right of the Palestinian people to self-determination violates fundamental principles of international law and renders Israel's presence in the occupied Palestinian territory unlawful.
In the occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem, hundreds of thousands of Israeli settlers now live on land that's internationally recognized as Palestinian. Under the current right-wing Israeli government, settlements have been expanding rapidly. But judges at the International Court of Justice today said they should all be dismantled.
Israel's occupation has been declared unlawful by the World Court, which has stipulated that it must be terminated completely and as rapidly as possible.
But even as Israeli actions are condemned abroad, many inside the country see themselves as victims, not aggressors. This was a Yemeni drone exploding in Tel Aviv last night, killing one person. Israeli politicians have dismissed today's court ruling. Earlier this week, the country's parliament passed a resolution against the creation of any Palestinian state, citing fears it would be taken over by Hamas. The motion even supported by centrist figures.
I hope that this ICJ decision and other such elements will tell the Israeli public and the political center within Israel that they have to show a different path forward, that they cannot follow the right-wing lead because we're seeing where it's leading us. It's leading Israel to be isolated around the world. It's leading Israel to be an apartheid state.
Back in Gaza, they pick through the debris. Britain has now resumed funding it had suspended for the UN's Palestinian Refugee Agency. And today's court ruling is a victory in the diplomatic war Palestinians are fighting against Israel. But none of this will end the suffering here.